In this video I'll show you how to inject an Angular variable into SQL queries in Zeppelin. So let's define Scalar Variable, which is an array of strings, and let's bind it to Angular variable called myOption0, and let's also define another variable called selectedOption0 and initialize it with this with the default value. Okay, so in our next paragraph we're gonna create a dropdown which loops through these options defined above, and it also changes the selected option 0 variable. And we also used Angular display system here, so we tell Zeppelin that it should treat it as Angular, so we're gonna see the drop down. Okay, so in the next paragraph I will make some SQL queries. So let's see what we've got here. These methods which are defined as follows, like z dot, it's actually called Zeppelin context, which is automatically created and injected into Scala language backend. It provides with bunch of useful functions like Angular bind or show or z dot SQL context. The reason we didn't write it like this is because it understands it. So we have a basic query, SQL query, which takes some table by some parameter. Okay, let's make it narrower and display some useful stuff. And we'll use average aggregation function. Okay. Okay, why only? Oh, because I 2 times added 25% times. Let's delete it and add 50% also. Okay, so we've got 3 lines here. In another paragraph we'll have another SQL statement. Let's make it side by side. And here we're gonna display something different. We're gonna use min and max columns. Okay, fine. So what we've done here is we have injected selected option 0, which is Angular variable that changed via this dropdown into SQL query. And by the way, we can use just SQL instead. It's kinda shorthand. So we see that for book value economic default value, the charts look like this. So let's change something to cache text rate and see that charts are different. So it uses, which is actually was selected here. Let's select free cash flow, and again it does what we want. But it's not reactive, right? So uh, what I want to do is to select something here and to uh, automatically update these paragraphs, so I don't need to manually run these paragraphs again. In order to do this, we'll need um, to define a watcher. So we're gonna watch the changes of the selected option 0 variable, and we're gonna define a function that will be invoked in every um, whenever the angular variable changes. So we basically registered a listener here, which is a Scala function, and let's see what it does. So it basically updates the paragraphs. So we see that it uses a run function. So it runs second and third, actually third and fourth, because it's an index uh, of the paragraph, and it also passes selected option context, which is defined above. So let's run this watcher. Uh, yeah, we see the error because the function should be named like this. Okay, now we're fine, and let's change the drop down, and magic happens. So now it's reactive, and it changes it automatically, which is cool. And so also let's try to use Angular unwatch function, um, which will delete this listener. Let's run it. Let's try again. So you see nothing happens. Let's go back and run this paragraph to add a listener again. So it works.